Love, love, love using those songs every week, guys. How are we? Let me know in the comments how you are. Happy Sunday. Alrighty. Hi, Lisa. I can see you on here, darling. How was your day? Welcome to our Sunday Night Live. And what a beautiful week it has been. I know we had some rain early on, but my goodness, the gardens are loving it. Plenty of rain around, guys, to water the gardens, but all of that sunshine, amazing. Let me know how your garden's looking this week. So tonight we are going to talk a little bit more about fats. So last week we talked a little bit about carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, and we're actually going to break each of them down just a little bit more. Obviously, these are hugely broad topics, but there's lots of detail that you guys don't need to know. So I'm going to bring you the most important stuff that you need to know to make sure that you are getting your health choices right. All right. So if you do want to grab a pen and paper to write down some things tonight, I'm going to talk about the good fats, the bad fats, why we need fats, and how much fat you need in your diet to keep your body functioning at its best. So if you want to go and grab a pen and paper, absolutely go do that. I will wait a couple of minutes, probably before I get right into the topic, as I always do. I can see Kylie, I can see Mel, I can see Shauna. Hello, lovely ladies. So just a reminder, as always, if you are watching live with me tonight on this gorgeous Sunday night, it is a hashtag live in the comments. I can see some of you are so seasoned at this that you have already done that. Well done. If you are watching this later on, some other time during the week, it is hashtag replay in the comments, guys, just so that we know who's watching. We can go back and answer any of your questions as well. Katie and I are always running back through, so if you pop a question in there at any point and I don't get to it tonight, one of us will get back to you during the week. So, all right, let's have a bit of a look. Hi, Fee. I can see Fee's jumped on as well. Okay, what a wonderful first week we have had in the Inner Fit Step Challenge. Give me a holler below if you are in the Step Challenge. There's a lot of you this time. There are so many people smashing their goals and walking more steps than they normally would, more steps than they did last week. And you know, it is so amazing that when we are motivated or inspired to, we actually realize that we can make time to put ourselves first, okay? That we are able to make time to walk every day. Because most of the time we just like to find an excuse. I don't have time to walk. I don't have time to go for a 40-minute walk in the morning. I don't have time to go for a walk after work. And the beautiful thing I love about the Step Challenge is that it kind of forces you to find the time, which in turn teaches you that you can, in fact, make that time for yourself. And that's one of the things I love about it. It's not too late to join the Step Challenge. We've had so many people join on this week as well. All it means is that you do 1 week less of walking to a goal. That's all. So guys, if you want to jump on the Step Challenge, we'd love to have you join us. We'd love to have you putting yourself first and getting some steps in. After the video, of course, not while you're watching, head on over to our website and click on the button and sign up and we will get you started. We would love to have you. Hi, Tara. Hi, Fee. I can see you on there. Yes, Mel, I know you love the Step Challenge. And Mel, I think you've got one of the highest goals to reach. So how you are still loving it is beyond me. I don't know. Okay, alrighty. So fats. Let's talk about fats. Last week, I briefly touched on the fact that we have been conditioned to think that fats are bad, that eating fat leads to putting on more body fat. It's true to a point. It's true in the fact that the more of anything that we overeat is going to contribute to extra body fat, okay? It's not just fat that does that, it's anything that we eat. If we overconsume, if we eat too much of it, yes, we're going to put on body fat. But that's not just fat's problem. That happens for carbs and proteins as well. If you tuned in last week, you may have been surprised to hear that fats are actually an essential nutrient for humans to survive. Okay? And not only just to survive, but to function at our absolute best on our most basic cellular level, right? So here are some things to be aware of as to why you need to eat fats in your diet. Fats are responsible for your cells to survive. Okay, so if your body's not getting enough fats from food, it's going to want to store more body fat so that it's got a constant supply. So fats are important for cell survival. Fat is actually really important to protect your vital organs on the inside, okay? We have some layers of fat on the inside. We have enough to protect our inner organs from outside things that might hurt it. A lot of people, when we're morbidly obese, particularly men more than women, have a lot more fat inside. It's called visceral fat, okay? And that helps to protect our organs. We only need a certain amount of it, but it's still extremely important. Eating fat, okay, so fat is an energy-rich fuel source, so it gives our bodies lots of energy that it needs to survive. Fat is actually a storage vehicle. Did you know this one? If you know this one, let me know. It actually carries fat-soluble vitamins around the body. Things like vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. So fat is responsible for carrying those vitamins around our body, yeah? Hugely important. Those vitamins wouldn't get to where they need to go without fat, okay? Without fat in our diet. So there's little fat molecules, that's what they do. It is good for insulation of our internal temperatures in our body, so keeping our body temperature regulated. It adds flavour and texture to foods. Yeah, it does. And it is actually one of those things, so we talked about this last week, one of those things that takes longer to digest, which means it sits in the stomach for longer, which in turn means you're going to feel fuller for longer, yeah? So it keeps you feeling full longer than, say, a carbohydrate would, okay? You'll feel, you know how you feel when you've eaten a really fatty meal, right? You can feel pretty gross and you're not hungry again for a long time. That's because fat takes longer to digest in our bodies. So fat's really good, okay? Fat's a really good thing to eat and it's needed. Now, where we can go wrong with fats is saturated fats. They are the ones that can give fat the bad name. They are primarily responsible for poor heart health, circulation issues, and cholesterol levels, okay? So they've got a direct link to your heart health. I'm not saying don't eat them because, my goodness, they are so delicious, right? I'm not saying don't eat them. I'm just saying that these are the things you need to be wary of. So watch out that you don't eat too many of them, okay? And keep them to a minimum as much as you can, but enjoy them when you do have them. As a general rule, saturated fats mostly, and I say mostly, come from animals or animal products of some description. So things like fatty meats, you know, the fat bits on meats, chops, roasts, all those sorts of things. Some margarines and butters, egg yolks, interesting there. However, the thing with egg yolks is the nutrients and the protein in the egg yolks kind of balance out the fat. So don't be too scared of having egg yolks, okay? Please don't be too scared of doing that. Coconut oil, palm oil, and full-fat dairy products, cheese, yogurt, milk, all those sorts of things. Cream is full of fat. Delicious, but full of fat. So if those are the fats that you want to try and limit, which are the fats that we want to include? And these are the ones that are called essential fatty acids. So we're going to call them EFAs because they're essential and they're the fatty acids that our body actually needs to survive. So these are responsible for the production of prostaglandins. I think I said that right because that's one of those words that I stumble on. Do you guys have words that you stumble on? Prostaglandins is that word for me. So a prostaglandin, I've been learning a lot about this recently, is it actually controls the process of inflammation. It helps to control the flow of blood to an area of injury or discomfort. It is involved in the formation of blood clots. And ladies, when you're pregnant, it is actually responsible for the induction of your labor, believe it or not. So some foods, now I've got a big list here if you're happy to write them down, or if something jumps out at you and you think, yeah, I need to eat more of those to get those fats, start writing these down. Things from non-animal sources are things like vegetables, fruits, nuts, grains, and seeds. oils made from seeds, pumpkin, interesting. Anything like nut oils, any of those sorts of things, wheat germs, some margarines, avocado. Ladies, avocado is good for you. As long as you're counting the calories in that sucker, I suggest you eat avocados. They are good for you. All nuts, okay? All nuts, even though they're high in, they're a bit oily and whatever, but those nuts are generally pretty good for you. Tofu, if you can do it, mustard seeds, pumpkin seeds, soybeans, green leafy vegetables, all those sorts of things. Oily fish is the other one that you really want to try and keep in as well. So that's your animal product that you might want to keep in to get those good essential fatty acids. Things like omega-3 and omega-6 are an essential fatty acid, and they come from, I know omega-3s come from fish and flaxseed, seed oils, all those sorts of things. So they're really good ways of getting good fats in. And if you want to get it from an animal source, then fish is the way to go. Leaner types of fish, obviously, if you can, but fish is better than red meat. Or the fatty bits on the chicken, if anyone eats the fatty bits on the chicken. So please tell me in the comments, guys, which ones of those healthy fat sources, those essential fatty acids, is your favorite? I really, really, really want to know which of those fats is something you can't live without. And I wonder if you can guess mine. All right, so now you know what some of the fats are that you should look to include. Let's have a quick talk about how much of it you need to actually get into your diet. And this is the really important stuff, so you want to pay attention here. I can see some of those comments. Avocado. Yes, avocado is the bomb. Yeah, avocado nuts. Yeah, I love avocado. A little hint, guys. If you love Avo Smash, but you want to do it healthier, avocado smashed up with some high-protein cottage cheese. Even if you don't like cottage cheese, I promise you it is delicious because it makes the avo creamy. Spread a little bit on your toast underneath your poached eggs. I promise you won't look back. Make sure you're counting and weighing if you're trying to lose weight, but half an avo, big scoop of cottage cheese. You'll love it. I promise you won't go back. Something new for you to try this week. All right, so how much of these fats should you be putting in your diet? The general minimum requirement for fats to maintain your hormone levels at a safe rate is around about having 25 to 35% of your daily calorie total to come from fats. Okay? Not 25 to 35% of what you're eating, 25 to 35% of your calorie balance. So, you might remember last week I talked about the fact that proteins and carbs have 4 calories per gram of fat, whereas fats have 9. I had to put my fingers in. 9 calories per 1 gram of fat. So, let's do the math on this one. If you are on a 1,500 calorie diet, right, 25 to 35% is approximately 450. Let's go with 30. It's in the middle. 30% is 450 calories, right? No, let's go with 400. I've kind of worked 400 out. So 400 calories approximately you want to come from fat. Each gram of fat has 9 calories. So if we work backwards, 400 divided by 9 is 44 approximately. So therefore, if you're on a 1,500 calorie diet, you need 44 grams of fat in your diet as a base level. So work up from there, guys. If you know you're eating 1,800 calories, then you know that you're going to need more than 44 grams of fat. All right, as a general rule, nobody should be eating less than 1,500 anyway. So if you can aim for 44 or more grams of fat in your diet, you're going to start to feel really good. When calculating your food and when writing out your programs, working out which foods you're going to eat to build your calories up, you actually need to make sure that fat is a high priority, because you can go low on carbs and you can go lower-ish on protein, but when you consistently go low on fats, it won't happen after a week or two, but if you spend like a month or more on really low fats, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel tired. You're going to feel sore. You're going to be more prone to injury, especially if you're doing the step challenge and you're doing 10,000 steps a day. You're going to be more prone to injury, and your menstrual cycle might start to go a little bit haywire. You might start to feel more hormonal. You might start to have some more pain, things like that. So keeping your fats as a priority when working out what you're going to eat is really important, just if you want to feel good overall. So make sure you include some of the essential fatty acids that we mentioned above. Don't be afraid. Oh my God, this is the biggest thing I want you to take out tonight. Do not be afraid to put fats in your diet in a way that adds value to your food, okay? Make sure, though, that when you are adding it in, you're not doing it in a way that is wasting those calories. For example, adding a tablespoon of oil. You know how I feel about oil. You've got to use it strategically. Don't add a tablespoon of oil to the pan just to saute your onion and garlic or to coat your roast vegetables, okay? That's kind of defeating the purpose there. Yes, the fats have been good for you, and if that's pretty much the only fats you're going to get in, that's fine. But just remember, you have to count those calories in. And you're not going to, that's not really going to make you feel full. That's not going to, you're not going to notice that you're eating it. So it's kind of like, I don't know, let's say there's 120 calories and it's kind of just into your body and you didn't even enjoy a mouthful of it. So be really careful. That's where they are wasted fats, and they'll just contribute to your waistline without you ever enjoying it. So think of things like adding avocado to a sandwich or a salad. Eating raw nuts, not chocolate-coated nuts. You'd be surprised when I prescribe nuts how many people say, can I have them chocolate-coated? Yeah, no, you can't. Maybe at Easter, but no. Have an egg or two a day. Please don't be scared of having eggs. If you are, go with the egg whites. They're good for you. Try seafood if you can instead of fatty meats, instead of fatty red meats. Make sure you chop off, if you're eating a beautiful roast, limit the amount of the fat on the side that you have. Same with chops. Just chop the fatty bits off, guys, and don't eat them. I know some people struggle with the idea of wastage, but I'd rather have more fat in the bin than more fat on my body, to be brutally honest. I don't know about you, but that's how I feel. All right. So it's not a difficult concept to get your head around. It's not difficult to implement. And just remember that you need to have a minimum number to aim for each day. And for all of you, that is at least 44 grams of fat every day. Okay, at least. All right, are there any questions on all of this? I know I've kind of thrown a lot at you. If you have watched this but you think, oh, I can't remember what she said, the replay is always there, guys. Go back and take notes. Go back and watch it again, pause it, whatever it is that you need to do. Now's the time for questions. If you've got some questions for me, I've allowed a bit of extra time tonight to answer some questions around fats. So let me know. So one thing you can go ahead and do to make sure that you're getting enough fat in your diet is to make sure you're getting enough fat in your diet. So just take stock of the things that you're eating. Maybe you're eating too many calories that come from fat. But if you are someone who thinks, oh, I need to reduce my calories, but I'm not really getting enough fat, or I can't cap my fat anymore, guess what the first thing to go should be? I reckon you guys know it. It's actually sugar, all right? So if you're someone who is now like, right, I need to take stock of my diet, and you find I'm not getting enough fat, I need to add in more fat, but something else has got to go, whatever's got sugar in it, I want you to take out first. Do not touch your protein levels, okay? So if you're trying to get more fat in your diet, but you need to monitor your calories, don't touch your protein. Touch the foods that have sugars in it. Processed foods, cakes, biscuits, crackers, bread, pasta, coffee, sugar in your coffee, milk even. Milk has sugar in it, things like that. All right? Maybe you switch to full cream fatty milk as opposed to light milk. You find the calories are relatively similar, but the full cream will have less sugar and more fat. Okay? I know some of you are going, what the hell, Mel? Because we've all been taught to drink light milk instead of full cream milk. If you are trying to get more fat in your diet, right, to build up, to get to that base level, then drink full fat milk if you can. Watch the calories. You're calorie counting anyway. Take out the light milk, because the light milk, guys, it's nearly the same calories. The difference between the two is when they take out the fat from products like that, they increase the sugar to make it taste better. All right? So up to you what you want to do there, but don't necessarily just believe that because it's full cream that it needs that light is better. It's not necessarily. Depends on what you need it for. All right, so I want you to always choose a healthy fat over a sugar product, please. From now on, forevermore, if these are the two options, you choose fat over sugar. All right, as long as you're still counting your calories and whatever, you shouldn't be getting into that sort of trouble. So we're going to actually talk about more about the impact of sugar on our next live. But for now, please just trust me on that one. All right. Looks like no one's got any questions tonight. Maybe I've either been too vague or have I been clear enough? Can you let me know that one in the comments, guys? Let me know. Have I clarified a couple of things for you? Or have I just made things more confusing? Let me know. All right, so next week is Easter, and I actually have a question for you that I really want you to answer below. Thanks, Tara. Tara said it's clear. Good. At least someone's on my wavelength. There's a lot going on in my house behind me at the moment, so I'm trying really hard to focus. Anyone knows where I can get a set of crutches at 10 to 8 on a Sunday night? Flick that in the comments too. But I have a question for you that I really need you to answer for me besides the crutches. What is it about Easter that might concern you with your health and wellness journey? Okay? Tell me in the comments below, what is it about Easter that worries you when it comes to your health and wellness journey? And I'd like you to pop those comments below, because this week we are going to talk about some strategies that you can take to not let Easter blow out, not have you feeling like you've undone all your good work, and not have you giving yourself a hard time for eating the entire chocolate bunny that comes, or 3 hot cross buns for breakfast, okay? That is going to be the focus of this week. I'm going to take the time to read your comments about Easter, your questions, your concerns, and give as much data as I can during this week, as many tips as we can during the week, so that hopefully you can head into the Easter weekend loving the chocolate, loving the hot cross buns, and not giving yourself any negative self-talk. All right, I do have a question there. How trustworthy is MyFitnessPal for tracking macros? It's okay. MyFitnessPal is probably one of the better ones, Fee. I guess at the end of the day, if you are concerned, marry it up. So if you pop it, have a nutrition panel maybe of a product, and then put it into MyFitnessPal and see how accurate it comes up. And maybe do a test like that for maybe 5 or 6 products, or maybe 10 over the week. And then you'll start to gauge whether MyFitnessPal is under or over. Always go by what's on the packet of a processed food. When it comes to fruit and veg and eggs and things that are not generally packaged with nutritional data on it, I'd do a little bit of research. So I'd be Googling and getting, 3 or 4 different sources and taking an average of that, as I always do. But MyFitnessPal is one of the better ones out there that you can get. So it's a good one to start with. Calorie King is another one that's not too bad, although they give some really weird metrics. But if you're serious about finding something, then Calorie King Australia is another really good one as well. I can see Lisa has said hot cross buns are my downfall. Hot cross buns are the bomb. I've actually had one already. I always save them for Easter because I'm always on some sort of shred right before Easter. I have actually had one and I loved it so much. So definitely, Lisa, hot cross buns are going to be on topic this week, and we're going to talk about some of the ways that we can have them, enjoy them, and just get on with life. All right, so no guilt. This is a guilt-free Easter for everybody in this group. And Melissa, the sweet, sweet chocolate. Yeah, I debate this every year with my husband. He is the first person to go, we're not doing presents, not for the adults anyway. And do you know what? I'm hankering for my chocolate, and my chocolate is white chocolate. You can't go Easter weekend without having some chocolate. I'm sorry, you just can't. But what I'm not going to do this year, and I was talking to my bestie about this yesterday because she does this every year as well, and she hasn't done it this year either, is we are not going to eat all of the kids' Easter eggs before Easter. Anything that we buy the kids, I have to be careful there, the door's open. We are not going to eat the eggs before Easter and then have to go back to the shop. Give me a holler if you've done that before. I've done it too many times. So, and if you do, I want you to reach out to me because we are going to talk through that about how you are going to just move on because it's done. All right, I'll give you some language to give to yourself. All right, guys, so what are you going to take away from tonight? Take away from tonight that fat is an essential nutrient to have in your body, particularly for hormone levels, cell development, and keep you feeling full. Things you want to avoid are your saturated fats, which are mostly from animal products, okay? Mostly, bar fish, okay? Fish is the better one. And which fats do you want to include? Essential fatty acids, things with omega-3s and omega-6s in them. These are the things that are going to get you over the line to feeling so amazing. Nut oils, nuts, avocados, okay, those seed oils, those sorts of things. You don't want to necessarily be cooking in them, but you want to strategically put them in. For example, I put 5 meals of flaxseed oil in my oats when I have them because I can't eat fish. I'm allergic to fish, and my omega-3 and omega-6 levels are really depleted because I don't eat fish. I can't eat fish, okay? So I put 5 meals of flaxseed oil in. It doesn't taste the best, but at least I know I'm getting omega-3s. All right, guys, those are the things you need. You need to also make sure that each and every one of you is getting at least 44 grams of fat in their diet every single day to make sure that your little hormonies don't control your life. All right, my lovelies. Oh, next Sunday night is Easter, as we talked about. So we are all going to go and we are all going to have an amazing weekend with our families next week, and we are not going to get together here on Sunday Night Live. We're going to just spend some time with our families. We'll come back the week after with something amazing for you ladies. But stay tuned. This week is going to be big with Easter. Just reiterating, no Sunday Night Live next week, but we are going to have a big week leading up to it. All right, guys, have a wonderful week. If you're at school and your kids have only got 3 days this week, good luck to you. Godspeed. If you've got 4, enjoy the extra day you get on everybody else. Travel safe on the holidays, guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.